Now this time, let's try to prove the De Moivre theorem in itself. It tells us that if we have a specific complex number here, let's say z is equal to x plus iy, or expressed in this manner, then the nth power, z to the power of n, is just equivalent to r to the power of n, or the nth power of the modulo, times the cosine, and you have here n times theta plus I sine n times theta. Now we have a lot of ways to prove this. The first one I'm going to show here is the induction. I'm going also to provide you another shorter way to prove, but of course you would also think of the very first video on the De Moivre theorem proof. We talk about the sum of the two, right? Z sub 1 and Z sub 2 is equal to the product of their modulus. Okay, this is on another video. Please try to review that in your own time. You have your cosine theta sub 1 plus theta sub 2 plus I sine theta sub 1 plus theta sub 2. Okay, this is actually the identity whenever we're going to multiply two different complex numbers. But if, okay, z sub 1 is just equal to z sub 2, let's call it z sub 1, okay, for the rest. That would mean what will happen here is that our r sub 1 is also equal to r sub 2, right? And that would mean that our theta sub 1 must be equal to theta sub 2 as well. In short, what will happen here is actually z sub 1 and then times z sub 1 is equal to r sub 1 times cosine of theta sub 1 plus theta sub 1. I'm going to change everything. I sine theta sub 1 plus theta sub 1 as well. So that would mean we have here the square of z sub 1 is equal to, okay, let me remove this one here, is actually the square of r sub 1, okay, then times cosine of, you have here twice theta sub 1 plus I sine twice of theta sub 1 as well. You can see here that if we're going to, we know that exponent tells us the number of times we multiply the expression, the term, the variable in itself. You have here 2 and 2, okay? And then you have here 2 and 2 for the angle itself. Going back to the De Moivre theorem that we have not yet proven, we have here n, 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 and n. If we're going to continue this way of proving, let's say there are 3, okay? So we have your z sub 1, z sub 2, z sub 3, okay? Sorry, z sub 3, and then let again everything be equal, so you will have cube 3 and 3 here. So basically that's the point of the De Moivre theorem here. Now, as mentioned, let me try to prove this using two methods. This video might be too long, but the point here is just to present you the proof for the De Moivre theorem in two different ways. The first one is the proof by induction or mathematical induction, right? Okay, we know the PMI or mathematical induction. So let's talk about here the proof number 1 for n is equal to 1. Okay, so if n is equal to 1, we need to show that this side here, I'm talking about this side, is equal to that side. So what will happen here is actually for n is equal to 1, our z sub z to the power of 1 is equal to r to the power of 1 cosine of 1 times theta, because what we're trying to show here is this. Let me write it here. Z to the power of n, r to the power of n, cosine n theta plus I sine n theta as well. So if n is equal to 1, so we have here plus I sine 1 theta, right? This is actually be equal to z is equal to r cosine theta plus I sine theta. And this is actually true. That's how we define complex number in terms of this notation. That's true. Next here, okay, assume n is equal to k. That would mean you will have your z for this item here. You have z to the power of k is equal to r to the power of k cosine k theta plus I sine k theta. We're going to assume that, and then we're going to determine, show that it is true for 4, that's 4, sorry for that, for n equal to k plus 1. Okay, so that would mean, when do we get nk plus 1 for z? Okay, when do we get k plus 1? It's actually a product of z to the power of k times z, right? So we're going to show that if n is equal to k plus 1, we would come up here with r k plus 1 times cosine k plus 1 theta plus I sine k plus 1 theta. If we can show this to be true by induction, this is already correct and true. Okay, so let's continue. Take note that z to the power of k is identified here, so we'll have r to the power of k cosine k theta plus I sine k theta times your z, which is actually expressed in this manner. So you will have r cosine times cosine theta plus I sine theta. This is the proof by induction. Okay, please bear with me. So this is actually equal to r to the k times r. As we multiply these two, then you have here cosine k theta plus I psi k theta times cosine theta plus I sine theta. We know this using laws of exponents. You have r k plus 1. So basically, this is already done. What needs to be done next is this portion here. So we can actually multiply them using FOIL method. You have your cosine k theta cosine theta. Okay, that's for the first the first terms. Inner terms plus I sine k theta cosine theta. Outer terms plus I you have I here. You have cosine k theta sine theta, and you finally have your plus I squared sine k theta, the outer terms, that's why it's I squared, and then sine theta. As mentioned in the previous videos, we'll be using some of the techniques we did in proving the product of two and the quotient of two complex numbers in the concept of the De Moivre theorem. This is actually equal to r k plus 1. So again, when you try to look into this perspective and this one here, okay, the first and the last terms, take note that we have here I squared. I squared is equal to negative 1. So plus negative 1, so minus. So you will have the form here, cosine k theta cosine theta minus sine k theta sine theta. Okay. Next, for these two terms here, allow me to factor I. So you will have here plus I. Then you have here sine k theta cosine theta plus cosine k theta sine theta. Okay. So what will happen here is r k plus 1 using sum and difference formulas for this. So you have cosine first angle times cosine second angle minus sine first angle times sine second angle, and it's minus. So for cosine identity, it's actually plus. Okay, so it's the opposite notation. This is actually cosine of k theta plus theta. If it's minus, it's plus here. Take note of that. Then plus I. But for this, sine first angle, cosine second angle, plus cosine first angle, sine second angle, it's the sine sum formula. So if it's plus for sine, it's still plus k theta plus theta. Okay. Yeah, just like that. Okay. So we are done with almost there. So you have z, k plus 1 is actually r, k plus 1 times, if we're going to factor theta for this, factor theta here, factor theta there as well. So what you will have now is actually this. You have cosine, you factor theta, so you will have here k plus 1, right? Then plus I factor theta, sorry, we still have sine, factor theta k plus 1. This, when you rearrange them, this is actually equivalent to this form here. K plus 1 theta, k plus 1 theta. It's just that they are just arranged theta k plus 1 and theta k plus 1. So, according to the PMI, this is also true for k plus 1. Again, it's true for n is equal to 1. It's true, or assuming n is equal to k, we have shown that it's also true for nk plus 1. So, according to PMI, we have shown that this Damorbro theorem telling us that the nth power of a certain complex number is just equal to the nth power of your modulo or your r times the cosine n theta plus I sine n theta. Pardon if I'm going to provide another proof for this. If you are already convinced with the PMI, you don't need to listen to the next one. But please, if you can, listen to the next one because this proof is even shorter. Okay, I'm going to present to you the second proof, but this time we're going to use here proof by Euler's formula. We have discussed Euler's formula, right, in one of the videos. Okay, this tells us that if we have actually a certain z, which could be expressed as cosine, which will be expressed as r cosine theta plus I sine theta. It can be written actually as r, okay, e to the power of I theta according to the Euler's formula. Okay, that is actually according to the Euler's formula. Our r could, of course, the modulus itself. Now, we're going to prove that, as mentioned, what we're going to prove here is z to the power of n is r to the power of n times cosine n theta plus I sine n theta, right? That's what we're trying to prove here. But using the Euler's formula, this is what will happen. The proof now is, if I'm going to take the nth power of this, okay, this will also be raised to the same nth power, right? So, using exponentiation or the loss of exponents, you have r to the power of n, e to the power of I theta n, okay? Or, you could rearrange this, r to the power of n, e to the power of I n theta. Treating this as one quantity, this is actually equivalent to r to the power of n, and since, take note, this e to the power of I theta is just the cosine theta plus I sine theta, okay, except for the r. I'm talking about this here, this quantity. So if that would be the case, and our theta here is actually n theta now, this would be n theta, this would be n theta as well. So if r to the power of n times cosine n theta plus I sine theta, because our theta here, this one here, is actually n theta now. So substituting that there, you will have this form here. And as you can see, the proof is even shorter using the Euler's formula. That's what we're trying to prove here, this one, and even the previous slide, that is what we're trying to prove. The point here is I'm just presenting you the two different forms of proof. But before that, I tried to take a short review on the application of this product of two complex numbers. If we're going to repeat that, so on and so forth, you will really reach this, and then later on provide the proof by induction, okay, using some concepts and some difference angles or some difference formulas for theta. And you have here the other proof by Euler's formula, which is even shorter because we're just using here laws of exponents. Either way, we have proven that this Damorbro theorem is very true, and if we can use that in specific situations that allows powers. And even later on, we're also going to talk about this, the root, okay? This means this is the square root or nth root of z. We also have another version of Damorbro theorem for that, and we're also going to prove that in that specific video. Thank you very much for watching.